Hello, welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, remember at the end of the last video when I was saying, hey, yeah, go on and play the Dodgers. Now's not the time because we need some wins. Well, we went into LA, faced Dodgers, or the Orioles did anyway, not necessarily we, because I'm sitting here. And the Orioles won 2 games out of 3, and they really should have won all 3 of them. I don't know. Sometimes it's just about when you play certain teams. Yeah. Yes, I am on MassonSports.com, but I will get to their stuff a bit later. Right now, I'm going to go to MLB.com. This is the game day page for the first game of this series. Yeah, this was kind of a bad game at the end. Leaves you a little pissed off. Baltimore Orioles 5, Los Angeles Dodgers 6. Taylor Ward 1 hit. Gunnar Henderson hit and 2 RBIs. Pete Alonso hit and an RBI. Samuel Basallo 0 with 3 strikeouts. Yeah, he's got to catch a lot more because Adley Rutschman's on the injured list. Cool. Yeah. Leody Taveras 0. Colton Cowser 1 hit and a walk. Strange things happen because, let's say, as you can see, or and I'll get to in a minute here, Jeremiah Jackson started in left field, but later in the game you want to put Tyler O'Neill in the outfield because he's a better defender. The irony. Though maybe if he played a bit longer than a handful of innings, because he didn't even get an at bat. Okay, which is odd, but that's fine. Cowser starts in center field when you bring, and Leody Taveras starts in right field. But when you bring O'Neill in as a replacement for Jeremiah Jackson, he doesn't play left field. He goes and plays right field. And then instead of leaving Colton Cowser in center field and moving Taveras over to left field, you move Colton Cowser from center to left and Taveras from right to center. Sure, I guess that makes sense. However, woulda, coulda, shoulda. What would have happened if they'd just did the straight swap for Jeremiah Jackson? Because it would have been Colton Cowser getting the ball and fielding it and then throwing it. Cowser might have been there a little sooner, so maybe would have been able to line himself up for a more accurate throw. Of course, at the same time, if Basallo puts a little bit more effort into catching a baseball, maybe it's a different story. I'll get to that in a minute. Kobe Mayo 1 hit. Jackson Holiday hit and a walk. Jeremiah Jackson hit 2 RBIs. Tyler O'Neill, as I mentioned, came in for a defensive replacement. Irony of all ironies. And did not get an at-bat. Henderson and Alonso with home runs. And that's all the extra base hits. In a game where you scored 5 runs, yeah, that's somewhat odd. But however, Tyler O'Neill with a throwing error. Yep. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Trey Gibson getting the start in this game, going 5 full innings. Does give up 7 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. To a certain extent, what do you expect from Trey Gibson? Forget his name there. I don't know that I necessarily expected any better. If anything, that's better than what I expected. Though Shohei Ohtani not in the lineup. On paternity leave for this game. So maybe that was why the game was a little closer than it should have been. Not that Ohtani necessarily made that much of a difference in the other 2 games. If Ohtani had pitched this series, might have been different, but he was not slated to pitch. However, 8 strikeouts is what I would consider very high for a pitcher not necessarily his overall age, but how little he's pitched in professional baseball in Dodgers Stadium against the Los Angeles Dodgers, who have won the World Series in back-to-back years. Are they going to three-peat? Are they going to have a chance to three-peat? They'll probably have a chance, but yeah, I don't think there are too many rookies that go in there and strike out 8. Though at the same time, how much do the Dodgers know about Trey Gibson? That's something. I mean, the more and more he pitches, the more and more people will know what he's like. Andrew Kittredge, first man out of the pen, pitching the full 6th inning, does give up the hit, but no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Tyler Wells, next man out of the pen, pitching an inning and 2/3, so the full 7th and then 2 outs into the 8th. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, 2 outs into the 8th. Does give up 2 hits, but no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Yennier Cano in to finish. I'm sorry. Yes, the 8th. Yennier Cano in to finish off the 8th inning, getting 1 out in the 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Ryan Helsley in to try to get a save, the save. Well, yes. Because at that point, it is 5-2 Orioles. Sorry, math threw me through a little bit of the loop there. Yeah, Helsley's having some struggles. Did they rush him back? Did he pitch enough in the minor leagues to see if he was ready? Tough to say. To a certain extent, when you go on the road, a big West Coast trip like that, against the Mariners, who've got a pretty good team, then against the Dodgers, who've got a pretty good team, yeah, you might have rushed the closer back. To a certain extent, if you'd have flipped the whole schedule and it had been Angels, Dodgers, Mariners, you probably would have seen Ryan Helsley get at least 1 more outing in AAA with the rehab stint, but that didn't happen. And he's given up some runs. He really has. Though, to be perfectly honest, I think the defense was a little suspect. It has been for several games. Maybe the whole damn year. Helsley only getting 2 outs in the 9th inning, does give up 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Yeah, that's disappointing. Let's get to a few of the plays here. Going to start out, this is the condensed game. The section I'm in here is I'm looking at some of the ads. You have a few options here in this game day section. You have the wrap, you have a box score, which is where I just was. You have the video section, which is where I'm at now. You got several options here, certain highlights, but then the condensed form of it, which is pretty much all the highlights that they've clipped out and packaged them into one thing. We're taking a look here at the first inning here. This is Taylor Ward getting a hit. Nice. Trying to split the gap, doesn't necessarily split the gap. The Dodger center fielder, Mr. Pages, gets over there and then throws out Taylor Ward trying to stretch a single into a double. Clearly, the advanced scouts of the Baltimore Orioles do a terrible job, because apparently nobody had any idea that Mr. Pages out there was really fast and he gets the balls really quickly. I'm sorry, there you go, Andy Pages. Yeah, that was... I mean, he wasn't even a close play, in my opinion. I mean, the dude was, clearly out. But yeah, here you are trying to stretch a single into a double. You the first man out there. Cool. Not a good way to start the game. And at the same time, if you're Trey Gibson, walking the first batter isn't the greatest idea either. And, of course, you get a whole bunch of... maybe not a whole bunch. That's not the right word choice. You walk Kyle Tucker, then you get a fly out, and then another fly out. So 2 outs. Okay, yeah, run on first, 2 outs. There's nothing. 2 outs. Key word there. And you get a double by Mookie Betts. It doesn't score a run, and then you get a single that scores both of them. And they get another single. First inning jitters. First inning. Sometimes in starts, the starting pitcher has to find themselves. They haven't quite settled in. So that does happen. The point there is to try to limit the damage. And maybe if there are 2 outs, just go ahead and get that 3rd out. Yeah. Moving on. Not a whole lot happening. What did the Orioles say? The Orioles will score for a minute. Really, Orioles did not do anything in the, first 2/3 of this game to make it look like they wanted to win this game. The Dodgers sure did. I know I'm just letting this go for a minute just so you can see some of the things here. I will skip around in this video. Coming into the 2nd inning, Trey Gibson, still getting himself into trouble. He did get the line out, so there's 1 out when that single by Alex Freeland happened. You do get the strikeout of Kyle Tucker. So again, 2 outs. 2 outs. And then you get a double play. And I will want to replay this. Because as you can see, the throw beat him. The problem is it was about 5 feet up the first baseline. And of course, the challenge did not go our way. Jeremiah Jackson cuts it off before he gets to the wall. So he does stumble a bit, and he gets it in there. And then Gunnar Henderson. Yeah, look, Gunnar. This throw sucks ass. And I guess, watch it again. It's one of my problems with Gunnar Henderson. And I know people really like him, and he's definitely seems like an okay ball player. His throws, sometimes, they just don't go where they should. Because you can see where I paused this. Basayo's got the ball. He's got the ball. The runner ain't even in the picture yet. He ain't even in the picture yet. Sammy Basayo is in the process of catching the ball right now. The runner is not in the picture. How in the hell did you not get this guy out? You didn't get him out because, again, you threw it 5 feet away from the home plate. Maybe it's even more than that. It's kind of hard to tell in the video. I don't know how far do you think that is. 6, 7 feet? No, I think 5 feet's probably fairly accurate there. I mean, from the shortstop position, that's where the ball went. Okay. Now, I want to watch it again because I think I see one reason why. Yes, the video is a little blurry, but you can see Gunnar Henderson's back here. This is his back. That's his number. This is his name across his shoulders. And we've talked about this before with some of these guys and how they take a cutoff throw from an outfielder. You're not supposed to take cutoff throws with your back to where you're throwing. Yes, that's what's taught. That is what's taught. That's what it's taught to you. When you're 6 years old and you're just picking up baseball and you first learning how to make a cutoff relay. Why ain't they doing it? There's 2 really schools of thought on why you do it that way. One is you never really take your eyes off the target because you can see it from your peripherals. Peripheral vision. You know what word I'm trying to say because your eyes are round. So it's not like your back's to it and you turn around in the process of trying to throw and you're just picking up your target for the first time. You can see where it is. Also, it's just the way, especially for a right-handed thrower, in this situation, his back would be pointed towards right field. You reach with your left hand a little across your body, stick your arm in there, your right hand, and you almost get your momentum starting where you're catching the ball and then kind of helps you get a little bit more on the throw. But It's not what happens here. And you see, he catches it and then turns all the way around and makes an inaccurate throw. Yup. I still don't know how the hell this guy was safe. Also, at the same time, if you're an umpire, you called this dude safe? I understand that he might have been safe, but looking at that, how is that even... It barely looks possible that you saw what you saw, that the human body could contort like that while it's sliding. But yet the umpire saw it and called the guy safe real time. Okay. Here you go in the third inning here. Yeah, Trey Gibson getting himself into trouble again. Single to Betts, walk to Max Muncy, single to Tommy Edman. Bases loaded, no outs. Strikeout. And you can see over here on the right, yeah, this is the moment, we'll say, these 3 strikeouts where, yeah, Trey Gibson really found his rhythm. This is here's the second strikeout here. I don't know. This is the bottom of the Dodgers lineup, and the death ball really works, which is just a weird slider that has more vertical drop than it does horizontal movement. Yeah, very animated coming off the mound. Well, I mean, think about it. If you had the bases loaded on you with no outs in the third inning at Dodger Stadium against the defending world champions, how excited would you be if you then strike the next 3 guys out and don't allow any more runs to score? I think a lot of us would be pretty fired up. Sure. Not a whole lot going on here still. And yeah, just letting it go. Even into the 5th. Even into the bottom of the 5th. There's nothing really going on. Not until the 6th inning here. So let's even skip past this. Let's go to the 6th inning here. It's going to start off with a Jackson Holiday single, and then you're going to get a fly out by Jeremiah Jackson, and then a strikeout by Taylor Ward. Yeah, man, Taylor Ward's meant to be doing stuff, not striking out. I mean, just think if well, there you go again. So, yeah, maybe that is a flyout, but again, and Andy Pages, as maybe you all know who he is. I feel like I've heard the name. I don't know that I really knew if he was any good or not. Well, it sure as hell seems like he covers a lot of ground out there. He really does. Now here you go in the 6th inning with a man on 2 outs. 2 outs. This is where the Orioles start to make their move. Gunnar Henderson home run, tying Pete Alonso for the team lead at 16 apiece. Yeah, this is almost the problem with me not necessarily being in control of the videos, but because I don't want to click around too much in here because I think it doesn't render right. I mean, the quality of this video is trash. Pete Alonso is like, yeah, I'm not going to stay tied with you, Gunnar Henderson. Nope. So there's that. And they do do a pitching change in there. Yeah, but they don't score again until the 9th. To get a bit of traffic here against what's your name? Andrew Kittredge. I forgot his name here. You get a long at bat with Freddie Freeman here. And Freeman ends up hitting a deep fly ball. Wouldn't have been a home run, but definitely extra bases. And Leody Taveras giving up the body here. Preemptively making up for later mistake in the next game. Kobe Mayo here falling down, hitting a single after a Colton Cowser single. And then you get a walk by Jackson Holliday. You've got one out here for Jeremiah Jackson at the plate. Yeah. Now it's like they get to the bullpen, and it's like the Oriole hitters finally decide, hey, we want to be competitive in this game. We don't want to get blown out here. Oh, okay, that's cool. You finally decided to show up to the party, huh? Get off that LA hangover or something, huh? You had to see the sights before you played the game. Sad part is here that Taylor Ward grounds into a double play and not able to get anything else. That's disappointing. But oh well. Here is where they make Craig Albertaz makes the move, bringing in Tyler O'Neill for Jeremiah Jackson, and then switching around his outfielders. Yeah, this happened in the bottom of the 7th. So then the top of the 8th and the top of the 9th, and they couldn't even get Tyler O'Neill up again. They couldn't even get 8. Yeah, it kind of sucks. It does. Is that my foot touching me? Nope. Going crazy. I think I'm just going crazy. Let's fast forward a bit. Let's get to the end of this, right? Let's get to the end of this. Here we go. We got Ryan Helsley. I definitely will pause this at some point. I mean, you got one out here. There was one out on the board. And Mookie Betts' home run, to a certain extent, you kind of understand that. You do. But the real problem is here, these walks. You do get a pop-up here, so you get 2 outs. Okay. You're allowed to solo home run, but then 4 straight balls? Come on. You got 2 outs, bro. 2 outs. And then you get this shit. If you can see the ball, it's right here. It's coming at Tyler O'Neill. What I'm thinking and what I'm saying Colton Cowser out there is, if Cowser's a little faster, maybe he's able to get over a little more. Let's say over here, and catches the ball. So at a point where it's Cowser, ball, home plate. It's in a straight line. So when he catches it, he can get all his momentum going forward. Tyler O'Neill's not exactly able to do that. He's got to catch it on the run, going to his left a little bit. So then when he wants to throw, he's got to turn his body a little bit. And he wants to turn his body because it's first and second. He's thinking that he can get the tying run at the plate, which I would have to disagree with 2 outs. I would. So I think part of the reason why you're giving O'Neill some grief for this is maybe he shouldn't have just heaved it at home plate. He should have thrown it in. If anything, he should throw it to Jackson Holliday. Here's Jackson Holliday right here. Trying to get him in between Tyler O'Neill and the plate. Somewhat of a straight line. He does his job for the most part on this play. And maybe Tyler O'Neill should have just thrown him the ball. And you know what? If he gets out there and sets it up right, it's a smarter play than throwing all the way to the plate. But it's not what happened. And actually, for one of my notes here, I have only 2 players of the 9 that are out here right now, I say correctly do their jobs during the play. I'm not talking about the pitches that Ryan Helsley was throwing. I'm like, balls in play, only 2 of the 9 guys do their job correctly. And it's Jackson Holliday here, and it's Ryan Helsley. Everybody want to say, oh, Helsley should have done a better job backing up. Where the hell do you want him to be? That is a big area behind home plate, okay? You cannot expect your pitcher to cover that much ground, especially if your catcher is going to tip the ball. So the ball's coming in, Maybe Helsley had it lined up a little bit so the ball would be to his left, but not too much. But then Basayo tips it, and it goes even further away. You can't anticipate that. Because for all he knows, it could come straight down the pipe and go right between Sammy Basayo's legs. Maybe some of the other baseball players on this field should have also been behind the plate backing up. Yeah. I'll say it. Kobe Mayo, you should have been back there behind the plate with Ryan Helsley. One, because there's so much ground. And two, you don't know where the ball is going to go. Three, because this guy that's on first base, right now he's running, but the little yellow boxes down here, he's the winning run. The guy that hit the ball, nobody cares about him. Okay? You get this ball hit right here, and with the throw coming in, and again with 2 outs, that runner, as fast as he is, he's on third base. You're not going to keep him from getting the third base. You need to keep him from scoring. You know how you do that? You be between him and the plate. Or you're around a spot near the plate that where you can easily field a carom, like say if it tips off of Sammy Basayo's glove, and then feed him the ball with this winning run coming down towards him, right? I mean, there are many ways to run the play. There are many ways. So I'm not, the leading authority. I'm not the know-it-all over here. I'm just, the guy with the camera right now. All right, so here comes the throw. This is the tying run. You see Helsley right here. He's already behind Basayo. Where exactly do you want him to go? I'll take this. This is Pete Alonso right here. Again, this is the guy that hit the ball. Nobody gives a shit about this guy. Nobody cares. So Pete Alonso, I say you should be somewhere here in the infield grass. Let it go a little further. Maybe right here. In case you need to redirect the ball. Look, Derek Jeter did it all damn years ago. People call him a genius. But yet, here you are just chilling. Because you think, look, this ain't football, man. Okay? You're not a cornerback guarding a wide receiver. Nobody cares about this guy. No, nobody cares. And it's even if you really did, you know how you keep that guy from scoring? Keep the guy that's in front of him on the base pass from scoring. Oh, because if the winning run doesn't want to make an out, then he's got to sit on third. Well, then it's got to hit the ball. He can't also go to third. So the furthest he could go is second base. So you're not needed there, Pete Alonso. And matter of fact, Gunnar Henderson, this is Gunnar Henderson just standing on top of... He not needed either. That's why Derek Jeter was in that spot, this spot, all them years ago. Because he not needed there. You don't need to be there. If he comes over and redirects the ball so it's a little bit more accurate and right in line with Sammy Basayo, the winning run does not score. He could have been here just like Derek Jeter, or even though, yeah, I'll say it, Jeremy Giambi was safe. I don't give a shit what anybody says. The tag was low, he jumped over the tag. Still a smart play by Derek Jeter. I'm just saying the runner was safe, so I don't really care. Just chilling, watching it. Oh, and also, as we've panned around here, where are Leody Taveras and Colton Cowser? Where are they at? Where are they at? If you really are worried about that runner, the guy that just hit the ball, if you're really worried about him moving up, you know who should be covering second base? Leody Taveras. Sure, why not? Because otherwise he's useless to the team right now. You're about to lose the game, and your center fielder is sitting up there in center field with a thumb up his ass, watching the whole thing. Cool. Colton Cowser, what are you doing? Nothing. Again, I say I want, I'm sorry, what's your name here? Mayo. Kobe Mayo, who is standing on third base. You can make an argument that is the right spot for him. But at the same time, you see how the runners passed him? It was pointless for him to be there. And again, space. This foul territory space here. It's big. It could have been more useful. Excuse me. If Ryan Helsley is in a position, some here backing up home plate in line with this right field foul line here, maybe right around this position here where I am with the bounce, which is about where he was. Kobe Mayo, if you were down here by where the word field is written on the field, life's little ironies, maybe the winning run doesn't score. Because again, the dude's already at third base. You don't need to be there, Kobe Mayo. You don't. Because if you catch this ball right here, because you're over here, the guy's not going to go any further than third base. You don't need to be on third base to keep a runner at third base. And again, you keep this runner at third base, the furthest the guy that threw the ball, that hit the ball, can go is second base. So Colton Cowser, if you really want somebody to cover third, Colton Cowser, again, he's out there in left field with a thumb up his ass. Tyler O'Neill, sure. You kind of understand why he's not in here trying to help, because he was in right field. He threw the ball. I feel like Leody Taveras, by this time, maybe Taveras running over to right field, which I didn't really notice that. Actually, can I back up a little bit? No, that's too far. See if we see Taveras at all. Was he on the field? Where did they have him playing? Holy shit. Yeah, I know this is annoying clicking, but I want to make sure I get it right at that point. Holy shit. It's a left-handed bat. Wow. Leody Taveras is way over. Look at it. Look at how much room. This is second base. Here's home plate. Here's second base. You see the numbers are actually written here. Holy shit. Leody Taveras is way over here with a left-handed hitter. I guess you think he's going to be late on the fastball? Of course, then he pulls it almost down the line. So I'm questioning your guys there. So my thought process is, with Jackson Holiday being where he is and going out, there's no reason for Leody Taveras to come over here and back up Tyler O'Neill in right field, because he's so damn far away. There's nothing that he can do. He's got to come to second base and cover the bag. So somebody, one of the infielders, either going out here to right field to help Tyler O'Neill, or further down the infield to cover some of this foul territory because the ball gets behind somebody. I mean, that's how you lose a game. You're going to see a couple replays here. I just don't. I don't see how you're saying Ryan Helsley wasn't in the right spot. Bad pitches, yes. But during this actual play, you gotta make the thing move. Stop making the thing move. Why are you making the little bars move? Why would you do that? So here's Ryan Helsley right here. He's almost in line with Basayo and Tyler O'Neill. Where could you possibly want Ryan Helsley? If not further back, I guess. Because there's so much room, you want him further back and enough time that if the ball does carry him like that, he has time to go get the ball. Though, Does he have enough time? Does he? I don't know. I mean, I just think it's bad fundamentals. And I don't think it's necessarily Craig Albanez's fault. He just got here. You know? Samuel Basallo has been in the organization for a while. Colton Cowser has been in the organization for a while. Tyler O'Neill, yes. Tyler, I don't want to... That's fine. I'll leave it there. Tyler O'Neill has been in the organization for a year and a half. Jackson Holliday has been in the organization for a while. Drafted by the organization. Kobe Mayo, Gunnar Henderson, also all drafted by this organization, have spent probably a combined 20 years in the organization. And there were several of them on that play standing there with a thumb up their ass. More specifically, Tavares, Cowser, Gunnar Henderson, Kobe Mayo, Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso, you just brought him in and you paid him $150 million. Yeah, it's guaranteed for 5 years? 5 years. Wow, that's bad. I mean, I remember that from Little League. Yes. Look, once the outfielder gets his hands on the ball and throws it in, you're not needed out there. But if there's a bunch of runners on base, yeah, you got to come in there and help defend. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, let's get past it. Spent too long talking about that game. Let's get on with the show. Here is game 2. Yeah, some more ninth inning drama for the Orioles. But they won this game. Baltimore Orioles 3, Los Angeles Dodgers 2. Taylor Ward, 1 hit. Gunnar Henderson, 0 with a walk. Pete Alonso, 0 with a walk. Sammy Basallo, 2 hits. Leody Tavares, 2 hits. Colton Cowser, hit and a walk. Kobe Mayo, 0 with an RBI and a walk. Excuse me. Jackson Holliday, 0. Jeremiah Jackson coming in late. Ends up more as a replacement because of a, maybe not necessarily an injury to where Jackson Holliday needs to go on the injured list, but an injury and was removed out of precaution and has not been placed on the injury list yet. Growing issue for a Holliday, making a lunge going into first base. So Jeremiah Jackson did get 1 at bat. Ofer, Blaze Alexander, hit and 2 RBIs. 1 extra base hit by double by Blaze Alexander. Yep. Error. Leody Tavares. Fielding error. One of the stranger ones. It happens. Trevor Rogers gets a start in this game. Get the hell out of here. Who the hell are you and what the hell have you done with Trevor Rogers? Tyler Rogers. Trevor Rogers. Too many Rogerses. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see this coming at all. 7 full innings pitched for Trevor Rogers. Does give up 1 hit. Yep, 1 hit. No runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. I'm sorry. What? Yeah. Yep. Rico Garcia in for 2 outs in the 8th inning. Does give up a hit. No earned runs. No walks. 2 strikeouts. Grant Wolfram in to get the last out of the 8th inning. So 1/3 of an inning pitch. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Andrew Kittredge in for the 9th inning. Well, not ready to go back-to-back with Helsley. So Kittredge gets the chance. The guy that you like so much, you have brought into your organization twice in the past 2 years. In the past 2 off seasons, really. Great. Cool. 1/3 of an inning pitch for Andrew Kittredge. Does give up 1 hit. Does give up 2 runs. 1 earned run. 1 walk. No strikeouts. Yennier Cano in for the save. His first save of the year. Getting the final 2 outs of the 9th inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Here you go. Another game where a lot of challenges. Charlie Ramos, home plate umpire. I feel like for the first 5 innings of the game, the guy was very good. But then after that, is he trying to throw the game? I mean, it's the Dodgers losing, so you're trying to throw this game? Or are you trying to make the game more exciting? Or is it possible that just in certain ballparks, certain lighting, certain phases of the sun, I guess, or the Earth's spin as it's rotating around on its own axis, causes umpires to just not be able to see well at times? Well, 4 hitters, yeah, that happens. So you can imagine it happens to umpires. I mean, that's only more evidence that you might need to have more than just 2 challenges per team. Sammy Basallo with 2 challenges overturning. Let's see. Ball overturned to strike. Ball overturned to strike. So those he's catching. Kowser, strike overturned the ball. Holiday, strike overturned the ball. So what's that? 4? We're at 4. Mr. Rushing, his was confirmed. Freddie Freeman, he got an overturn. So even the Dodgers got to overturn some. So maybe it's not even that he's trying to make the Dodgers lose, or it's just he's having trouble seeing because the sun's going down. Okay. That Cano one, I mean, that was later, so at that point, it didn't really much matter. Let's get to some of the play-by-play. Nothing happening in the first, but we'll let the video go, and I'll skip around a bit. Oh, I want to see. Do they have they should have the Pajes caught stealing, because that was somewhat of a nice play. Shohei Ohtani, he pops up. Blaze Alexander was started at shortstop. Pajes gets walked by Rogers. Where is it that he... Oh, there's a... Bam! How about that? Yeah, need to step up a little bit because Rutschman on the injured list. Yep. And then you get the strikeout of Freddie Freeman. Then here in the next inning, you're going to get some movement by the Orioles. You get a single by Taveras going the opposite way. Then you get Colton Kowser. He's going to come up and he's going to single to center field. Yes, let's go. Let's do it. There you go. Now able to do a little bit. Not taking extra base there. Oh, no, he did. My bad. Able to take the extra base there. Third. Going from first to third. It's a little different than, let's say, Ward previously, because third base is farther away from center field than second base. Here's Mayo. Somewhat strange there. Freddie Freeman catching it. And spinning and throwing to second base, getting the out at second base instead of trying at the plate. Yeah, Jim Palmer kind of agreed with the decision there. You stay away from the big inning. Are you going to get the guy at home plate? Tough to say. In that case, it was a force out, so a lot easier to get the out there. Makes sense, I guess. It does. Got a few nice sliding plays on the Oriole offense. Well, when the Orioles are at bat, it's a sliding play to get Ward lining out to center field. And then you get Gunnar Henderson, Jim Palmer, and Kevin Brown on the broadcast talking about wow, who plays Gunnar Henderson all the way over there in left field? Well, so it happens. If you want to pitch a guy away and you actually throw pitches away and pitches that move away, he'll hit the ball away. So you can play him over there. Amazing how that works, huh? Yeah, all right, let's skip ahead a bit. You got Trevor Rogers striking some people out. His fastball was... They were listing it at 95, 96 miles an hour, which is a little higher. It's about a mile an hour higher. I mean, is that the radar guns at Dodger Stadium? Is it the air conditioning, not the air conditioning, the air conditions in Los Angeles. Maybe. His changeup was also clocked at, I feel like it was more at 89 than 88, so there's that. Decided to lead off with a single. Then you're going to get Tavares right behind him. I mean, you're going to get... We're leading up to a strange play here for Colton Cowser and his at-bat, but you get Tavares with another single. Yeah, Basayo got to scamper back to second base. Yeah, you're not that fast, kid. And you get Colton Cowser to come up here now. Is this a Craig Albernass call? Is Colton Cowser doing this on his own? Okay. You're not going to show it. Colton Cowser tries to bunt, but doesn't do a good enough job besides out at third. But then with that Mayo walk, you got the bases loaded. And, of course, Jackson Holiday strikes out for 2 outs. That's disappointing. But, excuse me, you're going to get Blaze Alexander to come up here and be the hero of this game. Yeah. By your hair on your chinny chin chin, is that ball fair? Well, that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need. Let's go to the strikeout of Ohtani. Excuse me. Yeah. What's that? The sweeper 85? Cutter. 4-seam fastball 93. Yeah, he's kind of jumping all over the place. But he's getting it. Where are some of these goofier plays? I think that's about it until we get later in the game. Right. Just double checking relatively quickly here because there is some drama in the ninth. Yeah, I mean, this is the fifth inning. I mean, nothing's happening. That was somewhat odd there. I think they finally decided to play defense well. See Blaze Alexander, Jackson Holiday going out there, and then nobody's covering second base. Well, Kobe Mayer to the rescue. How about that? You don't need to cover third base right now. I mean, the pitcher can cover that. The catcher can cover. You can just slot around because first base, you don't need anybody to cover that. Guy's already got the hit. This is one of the overturns that gets Trevor Rogers out of the inning. Let's fast forward a bit. Was that a Mookie Betts walk in the seventh? But you get a fly out right, and you're out of the inning. So how about that? Barely getting out of the inning. Barely. Yep. There you go. Bottom of the ninth here. So what's happening here? Have to remind myself of what happened. Been nice if you could have gotten a tackle and run somewhere, but no. Well, of course, the Shohei Ohtani's back. Yeah, lets everybody know too. Well, it's only 3-1, so it's not that big a deal. It's really not. Yeah, they really... Okay, then there's that, and then there's that, and then there's that. Yeah, that Betts single. What the shit, man. Here to get the first out, you see Taylor Ward. Heard me talking about how bad a defender he is out there. Yep. He heard me talking about how bad of a defender I think he is. He wanted to show me I was wrong. Yeah, he really did. That and everybody else, because of course his own manager takes him out of the game sometimes. You get a walk to Freddie Freeman here. You're not even going to show every... Okay, yes. Then Canoes comes in. Still one out. You got this Betts play. Oh, what? We'll see that a couple times. Yeah, Kobe Mayo tips it, does recover, does throw it. I don't see it. I don't see how you think Betts is out. I mean, I wish I could slow this down. But you see his heels on the ground here. his toes are in the air, and I know we're not there yet, but this is probably the closest. I mean, it might have been the literal definition of tie goes to the runner. Of course, at the same time, what is the rule? And we had this issue early for these challenges and these throws at first base. Where do you consider the first baseman having possession of the ball? When it enters his glove or when it touches the webbing of his glove? Has been some debate over the years, and that may have been the straw there. But that's, however, I still don't know if I still don't see it. But at the same time, it was that close. And what did you call? You called him safe. But if it was an Oriole, what do you call? Oh, then you get this shit. Yeah. You had 2 outs. You had 2 outs here. What I don't even remember what the hell happened after that Betts bullshit there. And then line out, and then Freeman walks, and you got a fly out by Alex Freeland. Okay. So they didn't show the fly out. I don't know why. I would have, but that's me, because I would have wanted to show the whole sequence here. So that was a Betts play. Yeah, Mayo. Nice recovery. I mean, you could have gotten 2 outs, as Kevin Brown said on the broadcast. Could have gotten 2 outs. Should have gotten 1 out, but you got no outs. Oh, there was the fly out. I guess I missed it because I was talking. Leody Taveras, man. I don't know, man. It's these errors, man. Wow. Just don't play fundamentally sound defense. Taveras does catch weird. I feel like if you want to compare Leody Taveras and the way he catches, I want to say like a wide receiver, how some of them catch with their hands and some of them catch with their body. Leody Taveras is a guy that catches with his body. Yeah, I mean, he'll catch the ball. Even a pop-up, instead of, up here above him, he'll catch it down here at his chest. It was never something I did, but apparently it's something that he does. Right? But, as you see, I was still talking, but you saw Cano gets... Who's the big money guy? Kyle Tucker. He gets Kyle Tucker striking out. People want to criticize Kyle Tucker, but look, 4 straight splitters. It's a pitch new for Cano, and it's... I think it's a really good pitch, but that's just me. I mean, if you don't think it's a good pitch, but you might have to see it in person to see if you can hit it. It's not an easy pitch to hit. And with Cano's arm angle, there's a reason why he gets a lot of strikeouts and a lot of ground balls. Now, the caveat to that is, about what zone the balls are going to be in. But still, you still got to hit them. It's not exactly easy. It really isn't. All right, moving on. This is final game of the 3-game set. Yeah, you're not seeing things. Baltimore Orioles 12, Los Angeles Dodgers 1. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. Taylor Ward, 2 hits, an RBI, and a walk. Michael Ciani, former Los Angeles Dodger, coming in to get a few minutes of playing time. Does get in the bat. Plays in center field a little bit. Seems pretty fast. Good for him. Gunnar Henderson, 2 hits. Pete Alonso, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Henderson walked once. Pete Alonso walked twice. Huff, what's fucking Huff's first name? Sam Huff. Sam Huff coming into the game late, getting Alonso off his feet. Okay. All right. and he goes in to catch, and Sammy Basallo goes from catcher to the first baseman. Okay. Yeah. It's why I say the way this Orioles organization has handled their catchers, Adley Rutschman and Samuel Basallo specifically, I say is wrong. You're going to get Basallo injured because you're making him play all the goddamn time. What the hell's wrong with you? Look, okay. Craig Albanez says in the post-game after this show, in the post-game show after this game, that Sammy Basallo asked to catch in the third game. Okay, that's fine. But if you have an opportunity to get him off his feet, take it. Put somebody else in there to get Alonso out of there. What the hell are you doing? I mean, is you dumb or something? Maybe you. It's entirely possible. I haven't got a damn clue what the hell I'm doing, but I'm for damn sure going to get Sammy Basallo out of there before Pete Alonso. I'm not saying that I won't get Pete Alonso out of there. I'm not saying that. Hell, you put Mayo in there to play first base and you have your pitcher bat. Well, if you make your pitcher a position player, okay. Maybe you ain't got nobody on the team that want to do it. Maybe. Because you didn't do it at all, and you should have, because it was 12-1 at the end of. However, Basallo hit RBI and a walk. Kobe Mayo over with a walk. Colton Cowser 3 hits and 4 RBIs. Yeah, see, somebody told him that Colton Cowser was a terrible person or a terrible baseball player, and he's trying to make everybody think wrong. Colton Cowser is up to 238 average and 730 OPS. Which, if you are looking at numbers here, is better than Gunnar Henderson. Let that sink in. Colton Cowser has a higher average and a higher OPS than Gunnar Henderson. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Leody Taveras, 1 hit. Blaze Alexander, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Jeremiah Jackson, hit and an RBI. I mean, you had people available. Now, whether anybody would want to pitch or not, who knows? But if you ask Tyler O'Neill, he might have said yes, because otherwise he's not getting any damn playing time. All right, I gotta get rid of him. I don't care how much money he makes. If you don't fucking play the guy, what do you expect him to do? However, I mean, you do whatever the hell it is that you want to do, and you make the lineup however the hell you want to make the lineup. But you clearly see, and I know everybody wants to say how bad of a throw that was by Tyler O'Neill. You see the box scores. I've gone through all of it by now. Tyler O'Neill did not get in at bat. Okay? What do you expect this guy to do? You expect him to play well? You're barely playing him. He played right field for 2 innings in a 3-game series. He got no at-bats. You're complaining that he's not hitting? I'm saying, of course he's not hitting. He doesn't get at-bats. He doesn't get playing time. Of course he's going to do nothing. But however, extra base hits, Henderson, Alexander, Jeremiah Jackson with doubles, Leody Taveras with a triple. Supposedly, at the point that he hit it, it was the major league leading triple? Really? I'm somewhat surprised that 5 triples is the most, but however, Kevin Brown and Jim Palmer on the broadcast, Kevin Brown telling me that 5 triples leads the Major League Baseball, which is weird, but I don't know, maybe I misheard him. Maybe it's possible. It's possible that I did not hear that correctly. Home runs by Taylor Ward, Colt Cowser, Pete Alonso, and Blaze Alexander. Okay. Brandon Young gets the start in this game. He only goes 5 innings, 95 pitches. A little bit of traffic. Does go 5 hits. Does go 1 run. Does walk 2. Strikes out 5. I mean, I'm okay with that. That's a great start. I think that's a great start. Sure, it would have been wonderful if he could have gone 6 innings, but Wolfram coming in after Brandon Young here, pitching the full sixth, and the full 7th. 14 total pitches, so, I mean, I'm fine with that. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts for Grant Wolfram. Now, Keegan Aiken in for the 8th and the 9th. I don't get that. I don't get that. Keegan Aiken, a total of 37 pitches. I mean, he was, 20-ish deep after the 8th inning. I don't know why not bring somebody else out there to pitch? Nope, nobody on the team. Nobody on the team wanted to pitch. Blaze Alexander, Gunnar Henderson, Taylor Ward, Larry Tavares, Pete Alonso didn't want to pitch. Okay. That's fine. I mean, you're able to get through it. That's fine. 2 full innings pitched for Keegan Aiken. Again, the 8th and the 9th. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Okay. I mean, whatever. Alright, so the video's not... The condensed game isn't exactly up right now, which is disappointing. Oh shit, where am I at now? Oh wait, condensed game. Oh wait, no, let's go to this button here. You have condensed game by now? Okay. So when I had loaded the damn thing up, it didn't have the condensed part of the game yet. Okay, it does now, and now I'm set up to do all this stuff. Alright. See, we're getting into this now. Yeah, this video is going to be getting kind of long. Well, I yelled about how terrible they were on this one damn play. And picked that apart because of how bad it was. Yeah, you get kind of screwed here because of the low walls. But, whatever. I still don't get how, on a ball that's hit like that, a runner sees that and he just keeps going until a base coach or the guy standing behind the plate coming up next tells him to stop. How are you going to say, oh, you can't go past third base? Why? Some of these fast runners can get to home plate by then, However, so you load the bases with no outs. Interesting. And here's Basayo scoring 2. If I'm not mistaken, yes. No, I'm sorry. He only scores 1, which is disappointing. But one run is 1 run, and then of course Kobe Mayo strikes out because, of course. But here comes Colton Cowser to the rescue. Little triangle ball over here to the left field. Gets in there. Not able to score more than 1. Disappointing station to station baseball. Hitting, these balls actually leaving the infield, and then, Tavares strikes out. Cool, thank you. That's nice. And then Blaze Alexander, last game's hero. Yeah, he just pops up. It's disappointing. It's very, very, very disappointing. And, of course, as I always say, don't give up a run next inning, Brandon Young. And what does Brandon Young do? He gives up a run. You can see you get runners on first and second. Mookie Betts doesn't believe that he's out. But, yes, you're out, Mookie. Go away. Full strikeout. Go. Walk, then walk to Otani, then a strikeout, then a single to Freeman, a Mookie Betts strikeout, and then Max Muncy's single. Max Muncy. Did I have a problem with this play? No, I had a problem with that play too. Even watching it. So here you go. You got Taylor Ward. And this is what I've been saying about Taylor Ward. Right now he has the ball. If you can see the video, you can see that Shohei Ohtani has not touched third base yet. How did he score? And of course, Sammy Basayo does not catch the ball. Now, to his credit, A catcher's mitt isn't great for catching balls like that. It's really not. It can be difficult to field balls with a catcher's mitt. It can be. You get a pop out by Jeremiah Jackson, and then start the hitting parade. Home run here by Taylor Ward. Yes, crashing into the wall because you forgot that walls exist for some reason. He's mad that he didn't throw out Shohei Ohtani. Hey, I'm mad you didn't throw him out either. I'm mad too. You can be mad all you want. Maybe you should just, instead of trying to make up for it later, just do the right thing in the first place. Oh, shocker. All right, we'll skip around here to the third inning because that's where the more things happen. Yeah, the Dodgers do get first and third, but Brandon Young is able to get out of it with a strikeout right here. Bam, there you go. See you later. Here you go. Colton Cowser. Mayo want to strike out all the time. Colton Cowser will be the hero. Bam, gone. How about that? Excuse me. Nothing else happened. Blaze Alexander's trying to do things. He can't do things. What inning are we in here now? Oh shit! I hit a button and okay, so we're up here to the fourth inning already. That's all right. Nothing was really happening. Not for the Dodgers anyway. Yeah, the Orioles will score two in the first, one in the second, one in the third, two in the fourth. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. It really is. So Taylor Ward walks in the fourth inning, then you get a gunner pop up, and then you get a Pete Alonso walk, and then you get a pitching change. Okay. Then you get a Sammy Basayo strikeout. Speed up a little bit because you guys are taking too long. You get a walk by Kobe Mayo, so bases loaded. Yeah, here, 2 outs though. But, again, Colton Cowser to the rescue. Bam, up the middle. Scoring 2. How about that? Excuse me. Polar Bear chugging around, getting in there. Good job. Nothing really happening in the fourth or the fifth in either instances there. Yeah, they get a couple runners, but nothing really happening. Cowser catching some baseballs out there. Cowser coming to the plate again. Where are we at in the sixth here? Yeah, you get a Blaze Alexander double, and then a Jeremiah Jackson double, and then you get I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. That fly out was the end of the sixth. Here's the seventh. My bad. Part of the problem when I'm not in control of the videos. So I'm just learning how to do this myself with what they're giving me here. And as I said, I was trying to get this video out, so the condensed thing wasn't up yet. Not necessarily back-to-back doubles. You get a strikeout by Leody Taveras and a double by Blaze Alexander, and then you get a double by Jeremiah Jackson. So it gets technically back-to-back doubles, just didn't lead off the inning. So that's great. So you get 1 run there. Jeremiah Jackson's at second base, and you're going to get a strikeout by Taylor Ward, and then they're going to intentionally walk Gunnar Henderson to pitch to Pete Alonso. Well, apparently you just pissed off Pete Alonso. Because he just murdered that baseball thinking it was you and all your decision making. You going to walk Gunnar Henderson to face me? You kidding me, right? Let's walk Gunnar Henderson to face Pete Alonso. Gunnar Henderson, 223 average, 715 OPS. Pete Alonso, 249 average, 812 OPS. Yeah. That's right. Here's Leody Taveras' triple. Yeah, let's walk Gunnar Henderson to get to Pete Alonso because that's going to do something for us. And here's Blaze Alexander's home run to make it 12-1. Yeah, to a certain extent, I feel that I understand why Craig Albernas maybe did not want to put a position player in there to pitch because are they going to be able to get the outs? Are they going to be able to get the outs? And if you don't have anybody in there good enough or that can do it or is willing to do it, then you may not get the outs. And there's no time limit. You have to get 3 outs in the ninth before the Dodgers would get 11 runs. So, it's disappointing that you didn't do that, but they didn't. But in the end, it really doesn't matter. 15 hits for the Baltimore Orioles, 5 hits, and they win. How about that? Alright, so this video is dragging on long enough. Maybe not necessarily dragging on, I'm just taking a long time to do this video. So let's get to a few articles, a few injury updates, a few roster moves, and we'll get out of here. For that, I'm going to go back to MASNsports.com. This article written by Rock Kabatko. Yep, Adley Rutschman to the 7-day concussion injured list. Different than the regular injury list. The injury list, a position player would be a 10-day injured list, or longer if teams choose to have them on there longer. For a pitcher, it's a 15-day injured list. This is a special injured list for concussions because concussions are a big thing right now. Yes, they are an injury. It is a different type of injury than something more physical with the body. It can be something more with the brain, and that's more unknown. So, special injury list for the concussion. And Michael Ciani recalled. This is where you get that move here. This article here also by Rocky Bakio. A few rehab assignment updates. Dylan Beavers, another game in his rehab stint. 0 for 3 in that game. 2 walks. I think if he was beating the door down, if he was getting more hits, I think you could more legitimately make the argument that Tyler O'Neill needs to go and Dylan Beavers needs to be up here. Because, for sure, if you're not going to play Tyler O'Neill that much, you're not going to bring Dylan Beavers up so you can have another outfielder. You have Tyler O'Neill. You just got to figure out how to get him right. I mean, unless Dylan Beavers is crushing the ball in AAA, there's no reason to bring him up. Because you got to think, at least, especially at this point in the season, for sure, for the Baltimore Orioles, every pitcher that's in AAA, or every starting pitcher that's in AAA, is technically a AA pitcher. Because all the AAA starting pitchers are in the major leagues. Brandon Young, or you know what, on the injured list themselves. Cade Povich, Dean Kramer started in AAA. Brandon Young, Trey Gibson, they also started AAA. Where they're on the major league roster. There are no AAA pitchers in AAA anymore. They're all AA because all the AAA pitchers are in the major leagues because the major league pitchers or I guess half the major league pitchers are injured and half the AAA pitchers are injured, so half the AAA pitchers are in the major leagues. And still, Dylan Beavers is not beating down the door to get back on this roster with a whole bunch of hits and a whole bunch of home runs. So there's no argument. Tyler O'Neill's the better option right now. He just is. Maybe give him more than one start a week. Hell, give him more than one start a series. And let's see if something turns around. Okay, I get it. You're trying to win some ball games. You're going to have to do something else. You're just not going to play Tyler O'Neill? However, also somebody else that maybe could make them force a decision with Tyler O'Neill, Heston Kjerstad. He is rehabbing with AA, which I feel... Or no, wait. I'm sorry. Back up. Dylan Beavers is rehabbing with AA. Heston Kjerstad is on the AAA roster. Heston Kjerstad is done with his rehab assignment and is on the AAA roster. So Dylan Beavers is rehabbing with AA, which is even... Like, he's still not hitting, and he's in AA. Heston Kjerstad is hitting in AAA. The only difference is there... He's definitely a worse outfielder than Tyler O'Neill. I mean, at least the last I saw of him, but it has been a minute since anybody has seen Heston Kjerstad play a Major League Baseball game. But he is hitting. He's got 2 home runs on the year. Okay, cool. Of course, It's not exactly beating down the door. So, while you may say that you want Tyler O'Neill on his team, who the hell are you replacing him with? Tommy Pham? Okay. Yeah, no. Next article here, also by Rockabotko, giving an update on Dean Kramer and Cade Povich, saying that they have started their rehab assignments. Cade Povich with AA, Dean Kramer with AAA. Now, this article, Rockabotko, the timing of it, he does not have any of the information on how those starts went. But Melanie Newman on O's Extra after the Orioles-Dodgers games give us some numbers about how Dean Kramer and Cade Povich fared. Dean Kramer, 66 pitches in 2 2/3. He gave up 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, strikes out 5. And again, that he is at the AAA level. Cade Povich going 43 pitches in 3 1/3, giving up 1 hit, no runs, no walks. Did I say 1 hit? Giving up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And again, at AA, and these are their first starts. So they're gonna make at least 3 starts. At least 3. And they have to be 3 good ones before you even considering shortening them, because the pitchers get 30 days to rehab. So it's 30 days for a reason. It can take a while to get your arm stretched out. If it's been a while since you pitched, you can have some regression and just not be able to throw 90 pitches every 5 days. So you need several starts to get your arm stretched out again. So we'll see how long that takes. Okay, let's get to the schedule, wrap this up, and get out of here today. Technically, today's Sunday. Yeah, I'm recording this the day ahead of time. Just have some things to do. Tomorrow, Monday, no off day for the Orioles. Disappointing, but very short travel going from Los Angeles to Anaheim. It really does. It says the Los Angeles Angels. Even though they're in... You know what? However, y'all... Whatever. Orioles going... It is down. What is it? Southeast. That's what Kevin Brown saying on broadcast. Southeast of Los Angeles going to Anaheim. Supposedly it's Orange County, but apparently they're calling it Los Angeles. I don't get that. You just want to have Los Angeles in your name, even though you're not in Los Angeles. It's crazy. It's like, what's going on with y'all? Playing the Angels. Orioles playing the Angels. The next 3 games, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday's game scheduled for 9:38. Tuesday's game scheduled 9:38. Wednesday's game scheduled 4:07. And then an off day. So cool. That's good. Whatever, y'all. Whatever, Mr. Los Angeles over here. So that's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for Thursday, and I will discuss the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Los Angeles Angels. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm the Angry Ryno. Thanks for watching, O's fans.